Welcome to the Jen Chap channel. Today I am going to do a roasted root vegetable recipe. A lot of people have been really interested in this recipe, and my garden just happened to have some beets this morning, so I thought it would be a good time to do it. I got this recipe from this book. So I talked about this book in another video. There are a lot of great recipes. I may not follow the recipe completely because I tend to improvise, but there are a lot of great recipes in this book. So this recipe is really easy. All you need is a baking dish, which this is my baking dish, okay? You need, which I did this morning, is I got beets out of my garden, which if you've never seen a beet before, this is what a beet looks like. And a lot of people don't eat beets anymore, but beets are like nutritional powerhouses. They have 34% folate. They have magnesium, they have iron, they have vitamin C, they have so many good things in them. So you can not only eat, I'm gonna show you, you can not only eat the root part, which is what we're gonna do today, and you see I'm wearing an apron because you could stain your clothes. So be careful when you're working with beets. Then you can cut off the tops and you can put the greens in a skillet and eat those as a side dish, like with spinach or Swiss chard or kale or whatever you wanna do. So this recipe, all you need is your baking dish. You need to have your beets. What I use is I'm gonna basically peel and cut these carrots. I know everybody knows what a carrot is, so I won't go over that. I also use parsnips. A lot of people don't know what a parsnip is. A parsnip, this is what a parsnip looks like. Okay, it's like a white carrot, but it kind of tastes a little peppery, so it gives it a really good tang to this recipe. I really like them. They have a lot of good vitamins as well. I like to use a lot of variety because a lot of us tend to just use the basics like carrots and broccoli and even kale nowadays, but you can only eat so much kale, people. So this is a rutabaga. I also use rutabagas in here. And yes, you can find this at your local grocery store. The checker may not know what it is, but it is there. So, and this is great too. This adds a little bit of a spice to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut up the carrots and the parsnips and peel and cut the rutabaga as well and put it in a baking dish. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how to peel and cut the beets. So hold on just a sec. Okay, all done. See how fast that went? See, this is what it looks like. I just pretty much put, I just mix it, I just throw it in there for right now. All the different, the rutabaga, the carrots, and the parsnips. See, I was gonna get a new dish just for this video. See how it's broken right there? But I figured, you know what, this is real life, you know? So, that's my dish. If you see my husband, tell him I want a new one for Christmas. So, okay, beets. These are my beets, and this is what I wanted to show you. If you look down at my cutting board, what I do is I cut them right at the tip, okay? So when you go through, and of course I've already washed these once. I'll wash them more as I go on. Now what I do is I take all the leaves, and I'm gonna set these aside because I'm gonna use these for dinner tonight, okay? So what I'll probably do is mix them with some kale or something like that because they're so good for you. Those greens are so good for you. So then what you have left is the beet, okay? And like I said, it has, sometimes you'll even have the root on it if you buy it at the grocery store. And there's all sorts of different varieties that you can get. You can get golden beets, which if you are new to beets, you might want to do golden beets because golden beets are a little are a little milder than red beets. Same vitamin content, but yeah, they can be just a little bit milder. So then after you have that, and you have an apron or an old shirt on, you're gonna take your peeler, move this out of the way, and you're going to peel them, just like you would a carrot. And it takes just a few minutes, and you're gonna see, a lot of times the beets that you get at the grocery store, which I didn't preface this with the beginning of the video, but always make sure that your vegetables you buy organic and you spend that little extra money, because if you don't, you're getting all of those pesticides on there. I mean, if you know, it's poison on your food. So just spend the extra money, and then you don't have to spend it later at the doctor. So this is what it looks like, okay, when it is. And then what you do is you take your knife, and this is the little surprise. These are my favorites. That's why I do these in my garden, because the golden beets are fine, but this is a certain variety of beets. I don't know if you can see that. See the little inside? Oh, these are so good. I'm so excited because I like to grow beets, and I like to grow kale and all the things that I can grow through the winter. So I already have started my winter garden. The good thing about all of this is that when you start doing such a variety of vegetables, is that you get to kind of play with different seasonings. And the different seasonings, that's the key, okay? Because when you start eating so many fruits and vegetables a day, pretty soon the seasoning gets to be a little boring because you're using the same thing all the time. So what I do is I grow a lot of different herbs in my garden. And herbs are cool because even in the winter, you can keep them inside and you can grow them, and it's kind of a year-round thing. And then when you have a lot, you can basically, like when I have a lot of basil, I make a lot of pesto. It takes practice to do this because these little things are kind of little. Okay, so a couple more, and like I was saying, the seasonings are what is going to make your dish. So you can switch it up. You can do it, basically you can do it any kind of seasoning that you like. Ginger is a great seasoning. Sometimes I'll chop up fresh ginger. Always go for the fresh rather than go for the stuff you can shake out of the bottle. I mean, I know I do that. I have to do that sometimes with different seasonings, but most of the time I like to do it fresh because you get the nutritional value of the herbs. So this morning I went and I got some sage, but I also got rosemary. I'm gonna use, I wish I could smell that. I love rosemary. And rosemary actually is a good thing for your brain. So I've already washed these once. So what I do is I just take the little pieces off. You can just strip it. And these I grew from seeds. These are also non-GMO and organic. So what I do is I take it and I do just this, which if you have a good knife, which I do, I like my Cutco knives, it can just be a breeze. And this can go so fast. Okay, so you can see, I just basically cut them up, okay? You're gonna sprinkle them on top. And to be very honest, after this, I'll probably go through and I'll probably double this, okay? Because I like a lot of seasoning. I have, good thing I have an apron on, huh? Okay, so I also have salt. Okay, so this is the salt. Put some salt on it, put your rosemary. Okay, one last thing. Coconut oil. You're gonna wanna put some coconut oil on the top. And this is what is gonna make, when you roast it, and you can roast it in the oven, or you can even put it on the barbecue. A lot of times, I'll go put it out on the barbecue in the summer because it's really, I don't wanna run the oven inside the house. And either way, just make sure you have the right kind of dish, like a roasting vegetable thing in your barbecue. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna coat evenly with coconut oil, organic, non-GMO coconut oil. I use coconut oil for so many things. So, that's what you're gonna do. And you can see, I might even put some sage in there later, I don't know. But you can mix it up. And what you do is you take this and you put it in the oven for 350 to 400, depending upon your oven, for about an hour. And what you need to do is you need to open the oven before you take it out and get a fork and kind of poke it and make sure that they're done and that they're tender. And I make this dish, in fact, sometimes I'll make a double or a triple batch. And then we have it for dinner, of course. But then what I do is I'll take all the leftovers and I'll make some quinoa on the side. Like if I have chicken or whatever. Then what I'll do is I'll get little Tupperware dishes, little glass Tupperware, and I'll fill them with my root vegetables and quinoa, so I have some good protein in there and a little bit of carbs. And then I take it for my lunch. So then I have leftovers for lunch, and I'm not eating like crappy fast food or something like that. So there you go. That's one recipe that you have just learned. So I dare you to try it tonight. So if you have any questions, please just comment below, and I will see you on my next Gen Chat video. And I'm thinking about actually doing bath bombs next time, because I happen to have a long weekend ahead of me. So I think that would be kind of fun to do bath bombs and show you how I do that as well. So have a great time out there in YouTube land, and I will see you next time. This is Gen Chat.